Hey guys, it is your girl Antoinette back with another video, and in today's video, 2023 is over. We're diving headfirst into 2024, and I want to talk to you guys about the resolution mindset. What is the resolution mindset, you say? You know, those lofty goals that we make every year, like going to the gym, eating healthier, and things like that, where we make them without any specific rules or rhyme or reason to it, just that you want to do it. I think for me, that has been a setup for failure, and I want to do a little more with my new year. I've realized something. The pressure to subscribe to these monumental aspirations constantly leads to a cycle of motivation, then failure, and maybe a little bit motivation, and then going back to square one, and all of these things that really are not sustainable in the long term if you want to do it for new year as a goal. How are we keeping up with that and for the next year and the next year and things like that? So I decided to come up with something that would make my new year a little brighter and that would make my time achieving these goals much better. Before I tell you guys my goals, we need to look at a few things that I think are dangerous to what I'm trying to achieve, dangerous to my mental health and just my entire being as a person. That is doom scrolling. I, like many other people, have been on social media for the past 12 or 13 years, meaning since I was 12 years old, I was on Facebook. I would check it every day. If I had a phone, even if I didn't have a phone, I found ways to get to Facebook because it was addicting. I felt like I was missing out on things, and I just felt like life was happier if I got to see what other people were doing. But as I've gotten older, it's not really happier being on any of social media sites for long term. Checking it every day when you wake up, checking it every day when you go to the bathroom, when you do this, like it's tired. I know for me, I made a video actually on YouTube talking about the downfall of social media or something of that sort, and I talked about why social media was making me depressed and why I was just not having a good time with it. So for this, that is also something that I need to get out of my system. When I am doom scrolling, the minutes that I'm wasting on social media pass by. It's that concept of, oh, I'll just look at one post, or oh, I'll just do 1 hour, and then 1 hour turns into 3 hours, and then next thing you know, I've missed doing something entirely productive with my life. That's not happening in 2024. Am I saying that I'm going to get rid of social media? Probably not. Am I saying that I want to do more things that are productive with my time? Probably yes, or just yes. I think that I could be reading more books, which is one of my goals for the 4 quarters, which I will be telling you guys about in a few minutes. I just think that doom scrolling has its place when there's awkward settings, and oh, let me just go ahead and, you know, make it not awkward by doing this, or oh, let me just go ahead and make my time on social media purposeful so that I'm not being a, first of all, monitoring spirit, not liking people's things. And also, I don't think that it's just necessary to share a lot of my private life in that setting anymore. Sure, I do have YouTube and I share a lot with you guys, like my debt-free journey or something I discovered or just something fun that I want to do, but I feel like social media, it was way more personal back when it first started, and so you could be more vulnerable. You can be different things and didn't have to worry about whether you were influencing people or whether you were making it so you'd have a lot of followers and things like that, and that's just not me anymore. And that's just not, it's not social media anymore. I just think that it has become a competition of who has the biggest and who has the best. I even see it on YouTube, and that's why I've kind of taken a step back on my channel and what I want my material and content to be, because I wasn't being authentic. I think that is one of my #1 goals next year, is to be authentic with what I'm doing and who I'm talking to and what my goals and aspirations are, because I'm easily influenced. I'm easily influenced, and that's another thing that has come from social media. I wouldn't consider myself a follower, but I definitely think, for example, the thing with the Stanley Cups, every kid now wants a Stanley Cup because they see other people with it. It's seen as like a sign of luxury or a sign of wealth. Oh, if you don't have this $40 cup, you're not in the crowd, you're not in the know. And I think for me, that came in the form of buying a house. I don't have any business buying a house right now. I don't want to buy a house, but being on social media, a lot of it was, you need to buy a house to have wealth. You need to. I'm 26 years old. I don't have a family. Granted, you don't need a family to want to buy a house and have that form of wealth. I do not have the patience to fix things on my own. I don't have the patience to be calling a maintenance man, like having to fix the boiler and the water. Like, no. Homeownership right now is not for me. It's not in the cards. It's not even obtainable. But at some point of the year, past few years, I was like, oh, I need to go ahead and buy a house. No, I want my luxury high rise. It doesn't even have to be luxury. I want my high rise in the city with a doorman and an elevator and a gate to where people can't get in and can't get out. And I just want that for myself and my little puppy or something like that. So my goals and me being easily influenced and doom scrolling on social media made me kind of want things that I didn't really think I wanted. And the idea of individualism, especially especially in Western society, has kind of gone, but it's still there, but in the worst ways, if you catch what I'm saying. Another thing is wasting time. I work a 9 to 5, that's more like 9 to 6, and so the majority of my day is spent at a laborious place where when I come home I'm tired, when I wake up I'm tired. So I've been thinking about making my time more qualifiable. No, that doesn't make sense. Either way, it's quality over quantity. With what little time I have, I don't need to spend it doom scrolling and wasting time, and I need to spend it being productive and actually going and achieving my goals. Because even though we all have the same 24 hours in a day, the same things don't happen to us. We don't get the same opportunities, the same cost. So I need to work with what I have to make sure that I am achieving my goals that I want to achieve for the new year and for life and things like that. So let's go ahead and get into the 4 quarters. I gotta get my handy dandy notebook. So I cannot take credit for the 4 quarters of the year thing. I saw someone on TikTok doing it, and that was pretty much what they were talking about, how they were going to split their year into 4 quarters and make little tiny goals for those 12 weeks of the year so that they can reach them. And so I was like, that's actually a good idea. That actually lets me have small achievable goals to reach one big goal as the year goes by. And I'm gonna read to y'all what I have planned so far, because I didn't plan out the 4 quarters. I only planned out 2, and I think that is more chewable, it's more digestible. It lets me know that I'm on the right track, so then I can plan the last 2 quarters. So let's go ahead and tell you what it is. So my first quarter goals, which are January 1st to March 24th, my financial goals are to pay off my dental bill. Last year, well, this year still, I got a crown and I had to finance that and pay off my teeth because dental is expensive. Healthcare in the United States is expensive, so I had to do that. I only have 2 more payments left, so that should be an easy achievable first quarter goal because it's almost done anyway. And then another one was pay off my phone bill. I financed the phone just like almost every other person in America, and I think that's the dumbest thing you could do. I was not thinking with my bag mind. I could have had this paid off a long time ago, which is something I definitely want to be conscious of just letting things linger when I definitely have the money to just go ahead and just swipe it all out. And I used to do that. I don't know why I stopped. I think with the pandemic, I've been like a Grinch and wanting to hold on to more money than is needed in that way, where just pay it off. Just pay it off and don't even think about it. So another one is to build up my emergency fund again. Again, I could have had an emergency fund a long time ago, and I have had it, and then I would spend it on some big item purchase. That is the thing that is one of my biggest goals, is to build up my emergency fund. I'm getting too old not to have one, and I'm getting in the position where I want that for myself, to have a big savings so that I can invest and also just have that there for myself in the future. Times are getting rough, and at any point of time someone could go ahead and fire you or lay you off and you won't have any money, and then it's back to debt, which you guys know I'm on my debt-free journey. On this channel I really talk about that extensively. I haven't made an update video in a while. I have paid a few things off, accrued a few things, and I'm paying those off too, and I'm making sure that I'm being conscious of my spending habits. I still stick to a budget every paycheck. That's one. If you want to see one of my budgets, I think I posted it at a previous job I had, so my income has increased significantly. It's definitely something that is a slow but steady race that I should probably make a video about that. Personal development, I want to floss. I know some people think, oh, that's a given, you're supposed to do that. I don't. I can't even lie to the dentist because he knows I don't, and I should, and I'm going to do that. I have floss right here. I think they say that it takes 21 days to form a habit or something like that, or break a habit, and I'm gonna break the habit of not doing it and start the habit of doing it. Another thing for those 12 weeks is to read more books. Currently I read 12 books for the year of 2023. With time, there's so little time, but the amount of time I spend on social media could be the amount of time I spend reading a book and enriching my life in some way that isn't doom scrolling. Mostly doing my laundry, which you see back there. Again, reading the stacks of books that I have because I'm so easily influenced. I'll see sales like Barnes and Noble and things like that, and I'll go get the books, then I don't read them. So let's stop that and actually read the books. But read more books, enriching books. That is the first 12 weeks. Those are my personal goals, which are financial and personal development. And let's go ahead and get on to the second quarter. Obviously, the second quarter, you're supposed to refine the goals that you had, reflect on what didn't work, what did work, what you could do better, and things like that. And so my financial goals for the second quarter, I do have another trip planned. Traveling will always be one of the things that I think that I'm gonna make the time for. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do it. Financial goals were to save more, I think like $500 more, but that's because the trip I'm having, I have to kind of lower what I'm gonna save, but then by then I'll already have my emergency fund. So it won't be like I'll be taking away from the fund. It's just I'm lowering it while I go on the trip. For personal development, I am starting a master's program. I don't know if I told y'all about that. I'm starting a master's program. I decided to go back to school, and I know many people say, oh, you don't need a master's, or oh, school is this and that. This is my personal development. I like learning. I like being in an environment, even though it's online, where I can learn and do things. So that is that. It's going to be for marketing. I was in school for software engineering, but I was like, I can't do this. Tech is not my thing in that perspective. I'm more of a creative person. We see what I do here on YouTube and what I do outside of YouTube, and marketing is just where I want to be, and just doing things like that. Eventually I do want to have my own either social media management company, or I want to get into public relations in the entertainment industry. It just depends on where I'm at in life, because as we can see, I plan things out meticulously, then I completely change my mind. So that is how that is going. I am going to get a master's. It is a 2-year program, but with time and with patience I can finish way earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and make what we want out of this life. So that's one of my goals, is to finish some of the classes in my master's program, read 2 more books. I imagine when the master's program starts, I'm going to be way busier, so reading 2 more books is where it's at. Start swim lessons as I go on vacation more, as I swim in more places. I realized I'm not as strong of a swimmer as I thought I was. Swimming in lakes and oceans is not my jam. You can't see the bottom, you can't see your feet. So I decided I'm going to take swim lessons once or twice a week so that I can get stronger as a swimmer and make sure that I'm able to actually swim while I'm jumping off cliffs and stuff like that. So yeah, your girl is being safe with her new year. She's being safe. It is some odd hours later, and I forgot to film an outro video for this. So I'm telling you guys that that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me rant and ramble about the things that I'm going to do to make my life a little bit better in the upcoming year of 2024. I do hope that you guys found out some things about me, what my goals are, what you plan to do for the new year for your 4 quarters. I did not plan the last 24 weeks of the year, which is the last 2 quarters, only the first 24. That leaves out a couple months. Either way it go, or a couple weeks. Either way it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week with another video. Peace.